Hey, this is a best of series on what got me through hunting season this year. It's all coming up right now on Gun Talk Hunt.
Hey, I'm KJ, dedicated lifelong hunter here. If you got an interest in all things hunting, you're in the right spot. Whether chasing quail across the plains of Oklahoma or in pursuit of elk in the backcountry of British Columbia, you'll always find me on the hunt.
All right. Welcome in all you Gun Talk hunters. I'm your host, KJ, and today we're talking about the best of kind of a accumulation of stuff that I use this season to get me through so far. I've still got a lot of hunting left to do. It's all archery for me from here on out. But this episode is brought to you by Smith & Wesson. If you guys don't know, they make a 350 Legend revolver. So if you are really angry at hogs and stuff, like, I urge you, or a whitetail. Like, I mean, if you're in one of those straight wall cartridges and you want a little bit of a challenge, get out there and look at smith-wesson.com and look it up for the 350 Legend revolver. It's pretty slick. Okay, so I've got a lot of products to get to. I've got a lot of stories that I want to share, but I'll probably not be able to get to. I'll share those at a later time. But I want to kind of talk about products because we're kind of in the holiday season, and I have confidence in all of these products to help you. Like, if you're looking for a gift for someone and they're a hunter and they want quality gear, this is what you need to get. Now, I will tell you this. When I get to a product that has been provided to me for no charge, I will let you know. But they're up here for a reason because I do have confidence in them. And I would actually, these are products that I 100% would buy. But let's start with the... with an all-star that keeps showing up on this show, and I can't talk about it enough. It's called Luco tape. This is just all-around good tape, and I use it for blisters. It got me through Montana on the mountains and everything. This goes for $9 a roll, and if you want to really get a good head scratcher on someone who, like, opens this up, like in a stocking or something, and they go, why'd you get me tape? You'll go... Trust me, it'll help if they're shooters and they do a lot of shooting or they're headed to a class. Pre-tape your fingers because then, you know, you're not going to get those blisters. All those folks that love to shoot those Glocks, this will prevent that Glock finger that happens quite often, you know, on that Glock knuckle right here. But it's flexible. It's super sticky. And I'm going to tell you what, like, I use it every hunt. I usually go through about 1.5 to 2 rolls a year because I can tape my feet and I don't have to tape them again. So, like, if I go on a trip like out to Montana, I taped my feet. Actually, I taped them twice because I had the ability to tape and then retape if I needed to. But man, it prevents blisters. If you have a blister popping up, all you folks out there headed to SHOT Show, I'm going to tell you right now, get you some Luco tape, tape your feet, don't change it the rest of the week, and you'll be good through SHOT Show. You won't have any blisters forming and stuff like that. So Luco tape, that is Leuko tape. So check that out. I'm going to go over, and I kind of have a gripe on this one. This is a Peaks Backcountry Duo headlamp. It has 1,000 plus lumen illumination for your headlamp. I absolutely love this. I purchased this one. And if anyone from Peak Equipment or Peak Backcountry Equipment or whatever is listening to this, I have a gripe. I busted off an arm that holds the strap onto the headlamp, and I have a gripe about this one. For being such a well-built light, you have attached the crappiest little plastic piece for the headlamp. Like, it's so infuriating with me. I don't know why you do that. I did purchase this one by myself, and honestly, even with the crappy strap holder that affixes, and it comes off very easily, but the problem is they do not offer like a replacement housing for the lamp, which is really frustrating. And this is, I mean, it's an $89 backcountry headlamp, but it has red and white light, which I absolutely love because a lot of the headlamps that I'll use, like when you switch over to red, a red light, you don't get the throw that you do on this one. So I really like that. It's rechargeable and it is also battery operated. So you kind of run off two sources there. But that's the Peak Backcountry Duo headlamp. Super cool headlamp, like very nice, very well built, except the housing. I'm just saying that. Peak, get a hold of me, please. And let's go with the Tetra hearing. So I'm a staunch supporter of hunting suppressed. Absolutely 100% on board with that. But there are times like on a Texas hunt that I was on, we were hunting for nilgai and I brought suppressors, but they weren't the right thread pitch. I needed 5/8. I did not have 5/8, unfortunately. And you need hearing and you want to be able to hear in the blind if you're hunting with someone, but you never know when that shot's going to present itself. And so it might happen pretty quick. Tetra hearing is absolutely a great source to get your hearing protection. They have run of the mill electronic hearing that is for everyone. They do have customs. So these I bought at a discount. So just a heads up, I bought these at a discount with an industry discount, but they are custom fit. And what I love about them is I can switch them over to like a big game boost. And what that'll do is they fine tune these electronic hearing to pick up like the sound of an elk bugle way off in the distance. They are finely tuned to key in on those sounds. And there's one called Turkey Boost. So they are tuned to pick up a turkey gobble or a yelp in the field, which is really cool because a lot of times when you're hunting in those environments, you've got wind noise and you got birds chirping. But man, when a distant gobble goes off in the far distance, you're able to really key in and understand where that came. Where that gobble came from. And then they have, different range. Like they have a range boost and a regular kind of range, which doesn't drown in, like it doesn't flood your ears with just ambient noises and stuff. So Tetra, very nice. I really enjoy them. TetraHearing.com. Those are really cool. You will see there are some, for blind snacks, if you're traveling through somewhere that has a Buc-ee's, I'm going all over the map here. I'm going food. Dude, this is stuff that got me through the hunting season. And the honey roasted cashews from Buc-ee's are very nice. I'm not going to lie. They didn't give me those, unfortunately. I had to buy those, but they weren't that expensive, so not a big deal. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about Smith & Wesson for a second. We're just going to jump right into this read, and I want to talk about smith-wesson.com. But what they're doing right now, as far as like offering more guns for hunters, because I know like most of the 642s and the Model 29s and those are all cool guns. They're self-defense guns, and the M&P 9s, like it's really dedicated towards more of the self-defense crowd. And I get it. Like that's how you like made your living, obviously. But when you start offering great options for hunters is where I think Smith & Wesson is starting to really shine and really starting to stretch their legs. But the Model 350 is a 350 Legend. It is an X-frame series, so it's a large caliber handgun, capacity of 7 rounds. So you get 7 rounds of 350 Legend. That's straight wall cartridge. So for the folks in the Midwest and stuff like that are looking for a different option other than maybe your standard lever action or maybe your bolt gun, if you want a little bit more challenge, the Model 350 would be a definite option. But it's a 71.5 ounces. That's the overall dimensions. But man, it's a ported barrel, which is really nice because it tames a little bit of that recoil. And I'm not going to lie. When I shot this thing for the first time, I was like, holy crap. But I'll tell you this much. I'd rather be shooting the 350 Legend rather than like the 500. 100%. This gun is much more pleasant to shoot. And they do offer it in a performance center. No, I'm sorry. These are the other X-frames that they've got listed here. But I'm telling you, the 350 Legend, hunting caliber, and they also offer the 460 and they offer the 500, which are great calibers. But man, little less recoil in 350, I'll take it. Smith-Wesson.com. All right, we're going to jump back in here. An Armageddon gear bag that I have is, it's kind of the OG little saddle bag here. What did I use that for? It's actually kind of cool that I don't know how I figured this out. Maybe I had one too many cocktails at night and I was just sitting there messing with gear. I don't know what it was. But so I set up my my tripod and it didn't have a head on it. So it had an Arca lock rear mounting plate on it. And the gun that I was shooting did not have an Arca lock, Arca Swiss. I think I'm saying that right. An Arca Swiss mount for it. So I put a Harris bipod on the front of the gun. And it was one of the long ones, which thank goodness it's just enough. It was like I could sit down on my butt and then I could lay that tripod out. And this bag is so sticky that it actually could set on the support head of the tripod and it wouldn't move. And once the butt of my gun was attached to it, it wasn't going anywhere. And I still had a little bit of play in it. So basically it was the tripod sticking like this. And I'm sorry for you guys that are listening through the airwaves. But picture a tripod standing up and basically a support bag from Armageddon gear resting on the top of that tripod and then the butt of the gun sitting on it. So now you might as well be shooting from a bench. That was huge for me. And this is the OG. This is the, let me see. I can tell you. This is the Sticky Game Changer OG shooting bag. I did purchase this because, because it's awesome. Like, it really is. The bag's about $150 or so. But well worth it to have in your pack. And I built it with the light fill in it, so you can get it filled with like the sand media. But I did the light fill, and it's just about perfect. But that's the Sticky Game Changer from Armageddon Gear, and that's ArmageddonGear.com. Okay, what do I want to do next? Let's get into glassing, because this was an interesting one. This was kind of an interesting experiment for me. Now, I will go forward and say these optics were provided to me from the manufacturer. And honestly, I requested them. I shamelessly threw out and said, you know what? Can you send me these? Because I really think they're cool and I want to test them. All right. I'm going to get into the Sig Sauer first. Okay. Sig Sauer. These are the Zulu 6 16x42. All right. You know what? I'm going to butcher this all to heck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump here on my handy dandy computer here, and I'm going to pull up the Zulu 6s because I don't want to get these numbers wrong because of how impressive they are. Okay? Like, there's a reason why I'm going to fill it out here. Okay? There's 16 times magnification. You have, 3.8 inch field of view. Your eye relief is 14 millimeters. Okay, here's where it starts to get really cool. The overall length is only 7 inches. The weight of them is 21.9 ounces. All right, so for 16 power binoculars, they are light. They are light and they are trim. I'm showing them off right here. So if you're listening through the airwaves, you cannot see these. Do yourself a favor, go to sigsauer.com, check them out. I found myself picking these up often. And I had another pair of binos strapped to my chest, a pair of 10x42s. And it wasn't because I wanted more magnification. It's because of the depth and the clarity that I got at further distances with the 16x42 Zulu 6s. And the best part about them is they are image stabilizing. So I have this is kind of self-diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure it is. It's early onset. But I have like essential tremors, and so that means like my hands shake. I couldn't take up the family barber business because of this. Like my entire family is barbers. Would have loved to have done it because it carries on family tradition, but I'll let my brother do that. But like I have a little bit of shake, so you don't want me cutting your hair, or you don't want me having a razor near your neck, basically. So I got a little bit of shake. You turn these on, and the shake is gone. I mean, it's absolutely gone. So think about it. Think about the cold mornings. You're sitting there. It's freezing cold, and you're sitting there shaking. You can't get you're just your mind tells your body, "Hey, stop shaking," but your body says, "Hey, back off. I'm dealing with my own issues over here." And you turn these on, and it's gone. The shake is gone. Like I don't know how. Like because we've all been there. Like, and I was there a little bit this year where oh my gosh, that's a good buck. All right, get that heart rate down. Start talking yourself through it. Okay, is he going to come over here? Is he going to come talk to me at the dance? I don't know. Maybe he is. And like you're going through a lot of stuff. Like that's an emotional time. And so, how awesome would it be to get rid of all the shake? And these things do it. Now that is cool to me. 100%. Like, I'll purchase these if they call me and they say, "Hey, we need them back." I'll say, "Well, I've got to write you a check." God, I hope my wife doesn't listen to this podcast because she's going to have a lot of questions. Okay, one complaint with these. I do have a complaint. You're going to see right here on the back, there's some Luco tape strapped to them. That's because the little pin in the battery compartment, and it doesn't have it just gets rid of the closure on it. So I can still open it and close it, and it's not going to fall. The battery's not going to fall out. But the little pin in there backed out because I was messing with it. In the blind, I was just sitting there opening and closing it constantly, and the pin fell out. So I wrapped it in Luco tape. Luco tape saves the day again on binoculars. Imagine that. See, there's other uses for it. All right, my next one is going to be Zero Tech. All right, this is a new company to me. I'm not going to lie, folks. This is a brand new company. To me, they provided these for me on a recent hunt to Texas. These were not the 10x42s that I was talking about that I kept picking up, the Zulus. I put the Zulus down when I got these in my hand, because it was a different hunting environment. Okay. When I start getting into very enclosed spaces and very tight spaces, I'm going to lose the 16 power all day long. I'm going to lose the 16 power because those do me no good. Those have a very narrow field of view. I can't open it up. So I'm going to reach for, and these are the Thrive HDs. These are 10x42s. These are $699. All right. This is a new optics company to me, but they've been in business for over 56 years. They do know their glass. This is Zero Tech. ZeroTechOptics.com. Okay. And the bino harness that comes with it is very nice. It's top opening down. It's got magnets in all the right spots. One place that it does have magnets also is on the closure and opening, so you can fold it down and it's going to stay open. Not super excited about the fabric they used. I have a separate bino harness that I typically use from T&K that I love. This is just kind of a noisy fabric to me. If you catch on it or anything like that, there's gonna be some noise to it. But that's a knock on the freaking bino harness they send with you. So it's not really a big deal. This is ED glass on these, and I will say lens caps on optics are not a thing around me. I don't like them. I just don't. They include some very nice ones on the Zero Tech, the Thrive HDs, 10x42s. But what I will say about them is these bino caps are actually intuitive. So they are actually locked into the bino harness themselves. They have a little loop enclosure here. But if you push that in, your caps actually stay back and away and out of view. So I like that. Maybe that was a happy accident that the engineers over at Zero Tech encountered, but you push the bino caps all the way back and they will stay open for you. So, super clear glass. Now, the depth and the clarity that you will find from these 10 by 42s at around 300 yards is where it's going to start to separate itself from other optics companies. I found that, out to those 300 yards or so, I did pick up a little bit more detail on like whitetail. So what I found with the old pair that I was using of 10 by 42s, I just couldn't quite make out. Like I could tell, okay, that's a big deer, or okay, that's a deer that I'm not going to shoot, but I couldn't really tell why. Like I could tell the body size and body structure and, the makeup of the antlers. But I think when you talk about like how much coatings, like, and these are like fully multi-coated lenses on the Thrive HDs, that really you started to make out some fine definition. And I think it was, I think it was Dave Hurto of Field and Stream that actually had some Thrive Zero Tech optics, and they were like 8 by 25s. I want to say that's right, or 8 by 32s. Actually, I could check for you real quick. But they were small and they were nice. And they weren't that much. Yeah, they were 8 by 25s. And those are like $349, which is really nice. And they were sharp, they were clear, and he was using them in open plains in Montana. So that was nice. So that was my optics. It's my optics experience. All right, we're going to get into edge weaponry right now. And what I want to talk about is my plan was working so well until I met Charles Allen at Knives of Alaska and Diamond Blade, that kind of changed my thinking. So I have this little handy thing right here. If you're not watching, I feel sorry for you, but I call it a kill kit. Lots of people have these. Lots of people, have that makeup, and it's a kill kit. I carry this in my pack, and it's got all my knives. There are some things missing from it, and we can go over that later time, but it's got your gloves. It's got your dude wipes, it'll kind of clean your knives off afterwards. And it's got all your replacement blades, anything that goes in here, it's got it. And it's got the knives that I like to use. Well, as cool as that is, and as handy as that is, I've got to redo it, because the Knives of Alaska are just too good, and it's a fixed blade, and I don't have to freak out about those blades, because those replacement blades, I'm not going to lie to you, they're a little dangerous. And these, this is a diamond blade. Now, these were provided to us from Knives of Alaska, and I greatly appreciate it, and I'm a little bit frustrated because I spent so much time developing that kill kit that I'm going to have to now refine it around these blades. And this is the Surge combination set. This is, let me see which one this is. This is the Stag blades here, but it's a Surge knife. The bigger blade, so kind of the skinning blade, is your Surge blade right here. And just got a little bit of blood on that, but I'm telling you, clean through. So we cleaned with one set. We cleaned a Simbach, which is a big, thick-skinned animal, a hog, another Simbach, and an Axis before we had to sharpen. You know how many blades it would have taken me to get through that in replaceable blades? Yeah, probably about 6 to 8, potentially 6 to 8 blades. And this is cutting right through it. And then the other blade is a little bit more refined blade for finer cuts. And it's the Pinnacle 2 blade. So I'm rethinking now the whole fixed blade knife and not going to replaceable blades, because I buy replacement blades every year. That's just the thing I do, and I don't know why, but I do. And then he gave us another little cool thing, although I've been doing more gutless method, but I 100% see, and it looks like just a metal rod, but it's a rib spreader, and they offer them in 5-inch and 7-inch. I have the 7-inch right here, but it has kind of U notches here at the ends of it, and little teeth at the end, in those U shapes. So what you do is when you spread that rib cage open and you want to reach up there, and that rib cage keeps closing up. Like elk, this would be huge on if you're, trying to get up in there and everything. You stick this in and then it's not going to move. So you're not relying upon a stick or anything like that, man. A handy little thing. All right. I think I'm almost at the end of it. And the last one I want to talk about are the Warthog sharpeners. Oh man, these are cool. I can actually just use it on a blade. I'll use it on this little surge blade right here. And I think I'm at a 20. On here, but we'll use a little curve here from Surge. Now these are factory tuned sharpeners, and so what that means is that tension on that sharpening surface is preset. You don't have to worry about it. If you can do a slicing motion, you can always have sharp knives. They come with a diamond edge blade and then a stainless steel frame. So like you can switch them out based on how you want to sharpen or hone your knife. They also have ceramic edges that are replaceable sharpeners. And you don't have to replace those sharpeners. I mean, I think David was saying maybe every 5 to 7 years, something like that. So replacing sharpeners, that's huge. But you don't. It's a trim and go thing. It's easy to take these things out, and you can sit there and replace them all day long. I'm gonna actually go with a 20-degree cut on this one instead of a 15. So your cutting angles are 15, 20, 25, and 30-degree angles on these. And all it is a simple simple way to sharpen a knife, and it is highly effective. And they also have one, this is the V-Sharp A4 that I've got, and they also have one for field that is 6 ounces and can go into the field with you. So if you're heading out in the field and you're always getting dull knives or something, man, instead of taking so many replaceable blades with you, man, just take your fixed blades, take one of these curved sharpeners from Warthog sharpeners, and it's so easy. And they're a diamond blade. Like it's diamond sharpeners is what it is. And man, you get I'm going to cut myself. But that's it. That's kind of the standouts for me this year. As far as gear that I really took notice of, and I really try to do that. I'm going to come out with a clothing breakdown. Cause my boots were awesome. And I hate to say it, but I know Sitka makes great gear. They make some great gear, but man, I tested out some stuff this year that really floored me. That is very technical and very useful, and I'm glad I had it on the hunts that I was on. But that's it. These are the standouts. Kind of a quick run through. We'll go Tetra Hearing, Leukotape, Peak Backcountry Duo, Headlamp. We've got the Diamond Blade knives, the combination set, the Surge combination set, Warthog's V-Sharp A4 and curve sharpeners, Armageddon sticky game changer bag, Zerotech Thrive HD optics, and the Sig Sauer Zulu 6s. All awesome options for your next hunt. Gun Talk hunters, you know the drill. Keep those muzzles pointing in a safe direction and those knives, and always be on the hunt.
To see all of Gun Talk's content, go to guntalk.com, guntalktv.com, or sign up for the Gun Talk newsletter.